Well, I just left the hospital. My wife, she's doing decent, I guess. She got to have a heart cath, so we'll find out if, she's got anything going on. But we're thinking about going on the next cruise, and I'm looking for a job, doing the bus driving training now. But the only thing about it pays okay, but there's a lot of crazy stuff on there because you're an adult, so you're kind of like a manager. Everything's your fault. You can get in trouble for everything. So like they said, hold your hand like that. So if you want to tell the kids to stop, then you gotta tell the kids to stop, and then if you hold your hand like that and they run into you because they got up where they were supposed to be seated, but they were so excited to get off the bus, they can say, "Mama, Daddy, he touched me." So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you got to think about, and then when you cross the railroad tracks, you can't have anything on. You got to listen, and they kept saying they give you all this training for the bus, but then they said the students don't go through all this training. So you're going to be telling the students to do all this stuff because it's procedure, what you got to do, how you supposed to handle things. But then you tell the students and they're going to look at you like you're crazy, especially, getting on and off the bus. And there's a lot to it. It seems exciting. You get state benefits, which is cool. So that'd be awesome. Then you get retirement, I guess, even though it's not that much money. Following this car, he's going crazy. He had a sunroof. He's waving at people going down the road, and he was going like 30 miles an hour. And I was thinking, well, maybe he's a bus driver. I said, he's had to drive real slow because you can't have more than 4 points. And there's a lot of stuff they got to do. You got to drag this thing that's 160 pounds. So I went to try to pick it up. I couldn't budget. I was like, my strength has left me as I got older. But they said, oh, you don't have to pick it up. Everybody fell. But it's crazy, man. They give you something on your email to sign in, so I guess you can take your test and some of the training you got to do, and you have to do all this on your own. You don't get paid for anything, so you got to do all this training in order to be offered a job. But they pay for everything, but it takes a while to get all this done. You're sitting in there, and they used to have classes where you'd come and do it, but now they got it through after what we've been through in the world. So now they have it on instant Teams, and you just hear somebody talking, and the guy was giving a class. They had one guy give the class, and then another guy took over, and then he had somebody come to his house, and he said, "Excuse me a minute," and then that shows other people wasn't listening. They were kind of halfway listening. So a lot of people start texting, and they say, "Hey, is the class over? Is it done yet? I don't hear nothing." Or one person say, "Hey, we're going to break," and then the people start texting on there and say, "Hey, are we at break?" Because everybody's mic's muted, and only people talking have control to speak. So so it's kind of crazy. You just kind of laughing at it, like. But I did find out today, the first test, they go over the answers and the questions, and they're all in the book. But they said that in case you get confused, can't remember something, you might not make it. You got to make an 80 on this test to go to the next phase. And I said, well, what happens? Am I going to have time to study? I guess they expect you can go ahead and take the test as soon as you finish, and you can take it 2 more times, but you got to make an 80, and then, But we was up here at the hospital, and I was talking to this lady come and did something with my wife, and she just laughing laughing at me because, a lot of times I don't talk in complete sentences. I've already had the pre-conversation in my head. So when I'm talking, I'll just get to the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about. And if you hear what I say, you're like, what? So a lot of times I confuse the fire out of people. So, and me and my wife been together so long, the nurse was looking at me and then looking at my wife, and then she's like, she was confused because my wife would kind of just ignore me on a lot of things I say, and the nurse was like tripping out, and she thought it was pretty funny because I was telling her about some of the stuff on the cruise ship, and there was a lady that's real nice, and she's on the cruise ship. She was the bar hostess or bar person, so they go around and they ask people if they want to drink drinks, and I think when they sell the drinks, they get commission on them. And she has like a 9-month tour on the boat. Well, she was so nice, and you got to be careful. But she asked, if she ever come to the U.S., she stay with us, and I was like, well, sure. And then you talk to other people, they're like, are you crazy? And I said, well, I think she was nice. I mean, we see her every day, but it's just a suburb. But she used a WhatsApp application, and when I first started YouTube in 2019, trying to figure it all out, I was almost 50, or 48 or 49, I don't remember how old I was. But when I first started that, probably 49 or 40, 48, I believe, because I'm a year younger than the year. So when I started doing YouTube, I got excited, and I was doing everything. I was doing Instagram and Facebook, and eventually got into TikTok. But now I'm mostly concentrating on YouTube, and every now and then I'll go to one of the other platforms, but not as strong as I used to. And some of them will give, they'll give you warnings or notifications, something you did in the past. So this is a year old, what you did. And matter of fact, like 2 days ago was my last day as an Android user. So I've been using an iPhone now for a year, which I like a lot better. But she just said, be yourself. And I said, well, it's kind of hard because when you talk to the camera, now it's easier now, but used to, when you talk to the camera, you see a camera and you see yourself. You don't really see anybody else. And you see your expression, so you don't see how other people see you. So when you talk to other people and they say something, or the way they look, or when you say things and they pause, it gives you time to think about other things that are related to that. And then you start coming off the wall with a bunch of stuff naturally, without anything, just being me. And then, so it's funnier if I could record the live events of conversations, and it would be a whole lot more funnier. So I try to figure out how to put that authenticity in my regular videos, but we'll see, just having a good time. Like right now, I'm behind a car and they're going like 50 miles an hour and 55, and then there's a whole bunch of cars out, so it don't really matter. But they're not in a hurry, and they don't plan on going any faster. But it's about 3:30. I'm gonna make me some coffee. I'm gonna apply for a secretary job at the school, because the good thing, looking for a job, I might as well get one working for the government or city or state, because that would help with student loans. And after 10 years of payments, the student loans will be forgiven. But if you go to the school, you get, normally they work, I think most people work a 5-day work week. So you're going to work about, 300 and something days a year after, after the weekends are took out. But a lot of schools, like a school teacher works 191. They get holidays, so that's a lot of days you can go on a cruise. You could probably go on 2 cruises a year and not be hurt. So that's kind of cool about the school district. You know, probably federal jobs, you get a lot of days off and you make good money. And the more money you make, the more your retirement is, if we're still here and digital currency and all that hadn't killed everything and, you know, and all that stuff. But you make more money, then you can get your son out of your house and he have his own house. Or you have money to travel, you know. That's just something to think about. I'm just rambling on today, you know, seeing if you can see this car. It's that little blue car. They go real slow. I got to trim my beard up, I think. Washing clothes and apply for this job. ADP's hiring, but I applied for them a long time ago, about 10 times already, and they never hire you. So I figured I'd just keep trying. And, you know, my wife's, she's kicking. But I was talking to somebody, and, you know, some people are a whole lot more literal, and they see things stronger than you do sometimes. But I'm still hopeful, and I believe. So I don't think my wife would be here if she didn't have help from above. The good Lord keeping her alive. But she is getting worse. So, you know, on this cruise before I went, she felt it. She said she probably wasn't going to be here a year from now, but, you know, it's been 6 months. She's back in the hospital, but she's still here. And if she tightens up a little bit on certain things, she's a diabetic, but her sugar used to run high all the time. And now, her sugar's bottoming out because she won't eat. So she's having to cut back on her insulin. She just don't have an appetite. So, you know, I'm enjoying her all the days I can. And, you know, I might as well get a job so I don't just sit around and deteriorate myself. Because I've seen some old people, no offense to older people than I am. And so a lot of older folks say, "You're young." I said, "Well, I don't feel young. I'll be 52 in July." And people in their 60s go, "Oh, you just a baby." And I'm like, I don't feel like a baby. So, you know, I've been kind of semi-retired because I only been working the weekend. And now I've been doing this little training, so I've been getting up, having to fight traffic. So I think it's good to get out and do something. You know, if you don't have no money to do anything, you sit around and eat, sleep. I believe you just go kind of downhill, or maybe you age. You age real quick. So a lot of people used to work with Comcast. They would retire, and they'd come to work. They were on a schedule. They retire, and then they wouldn't be here like a year or two. You know, some of them had health problems, but then just getting off that little schedule and had that little social interaction, that little bit of work, kept them alive, it seemed like. And then once they retired, they just went on. You know, they ought to let you retire a lot younger. At least you can enjoy your life. By the time you retire, you don't have that long to live. But I think the main thing, you just got to keep busy doing something, you know, interacting or going driving people crazy, or just getting out, getting a little bit of exercise, maybe a few steps a day, better than being at home in the hay. But yeah, I just rambling on. So I know some people go, "What the world is that?" I really wanted this piece of property right here, but they sold it, and the guy put some kind of fence out there. I don't know why he did that. I think he's trying to divide it, but it looks like he's wanting to hang posters along his property, but he hadn't done anything with it in like a month. He cut the grass, put that out there, and it's just sitting there. But that would have been perfect for my son. Buy that, then he'd been close, but not right in the house. And I could have, you know, had a little bit of freedom. Once they kind of get out of the house and come back, it's kind of rough. Even though it's not sort of halfway like it was. But I just thought I'd share that. I don't know what I'll call this. I'll call it rambling on or something. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all listening and hearing me think about things and talk about the hospital. And, everybody's doing good. My hair's growing real good. It's still got a lot of red in it. Hadn't turned too much. And my newest grandbaby, he was sitting up today all by himself. So everybody's getting older. But thank y'all for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. And, even though I don't qualify for the watch time and all that, I'm getting watch time. But maybe if I get enough subscribers, eventually I might make money one day on this channel. If not, I'll just make people happy or confused. Whatever comes first. Because I thought my kids would kind of take over, but they don't even want to be on camera. But I figured I'd just share that. Get ready to make me some coffee and wash some clothes. And I'm gonna put in for this school secretary job, but I can't type, so we'll see. Nobody wants to work, so these days somebody should hire me. Old bearded man, nobody wants to work. Yeah, we'll give him a shot. I come to work. They hire me. But we'll talk at you later. Thank y'all for subscribing and listen to me ramble on. And we'll catch you later.